Pulses Day, Ukraine Market Outlook, Chickpea Panel. Ukraine's 2020-2021 chickpea exports are expected to amount to around 25,000 to 30,000 metric tons, compared to 43,000 metric tons in 2019-2020. The lower volume reflects last year's decreased production as low prices saw fewer hectares seeded to chickpeas and unfavorable weather knocked down yields. Pakistan is the major buyer, having taken 45% of Ukraine's chickpea exports last year. Egypt and the EU are also important markets. This planting season, with prices having improved, it is expected that farmers may plant considerably more chickpeas than they did last year. If they do so, this could be the first step to seeing an impressive expansion in Ukraine's chickpea area in 2022. Stay up to date on all the latest developments with our panel of experts. Sergey Fyofilov of Ukragro Consult, Analyst. Navneet Singh Chavra of Global Garbanzo, Moderator. Neil Goetz of AGT. Alexander Chumak of Mayer. Kirill Mikhailov from ETG Commodities, and Anastasia Malienko of Arnika Agri Holding. The Chickpea Panel, next on GPC's Ukraine Market Outlook.
Hi, good day. Welcome to Ukraine Pulses Outlook, organized by the Ukraine Pulses Association in association with GPC. We are here going to start the Chickpeas panel. I would like to introduce the panelists today. We have well-known Mr. Sergey Fyofilov as an analyst. He's well known for all the Ukraine industry. Myself as a Navneet Chavra, Mr. Alexander Chumak, he is unfortunately not with us right now due to some technical issue. Then we have Ms. Kalanskika Svetlana from Arnika Holding. She is having a big farms in Ukraine. We have Mr. Neil Goetz from AGT Putman. And we have finally with Mr. Kirill Mikhailov from ETG. So here we would like to thank you and we respect the enthusiasm for the Ukraine Pulses industry and GPC to organize such an event, as well as we thank you to all the GPC team and Ukraine Pulses Association team to organize such a wonderful event in this time. So before we start the panel discussion portions, I would like to start with Mr. Sergey Fyofilov, who will present his Ukraine outlook of the chickpeas. He will give all the details of in the numbers, what exactly in the Ukraine about the chickpeas. Mr. Sergey.
Yeah. Thank you, Navneet, for your introduction. Well, I'd like to share your congratulations to organizers of this event, to Global Pulse Association and also Ukrainian Pulse Association and Arab and Indian Spice Company as a sponsor. Well, this is a really very important event in the day of, in the Global Day of Pulses. Well, chickpeas production in Ukraine is focused mainly in Odessa, Kharkov, Poltava region in this belt. Total chickpeas area are not so impressive, and production of chickpeas is not so high as in other producing countries like Canada and Russia. Demand for chickpeas was record high before 2018. with rather profitable prices. This factor encouraged Ukrainian farmers to expand area and to expand the production and export of chickpeas. Well, but from 2018, this chickpeas market performance went down, and farmers, Ukrainian farmers, consider chickpeas and other pulses as more risky crops compared to wheat and corn, and for sure sunflower. Well, chickpeas production was record high, as I mentioned, and then went down. Well, anyway, last year chickpeas prices grew impressively due to much better foreign demand. Importers intended quite clear to build up the domestic stocks of commodities to guarantee their food security. Well, very important indications, the rates of increase of chickpeas prices was second high after lentils last year, and this increase started in the very beginning of 2021 season in August, September. Well, Ukr consult estimations of chickpeas area is at 20,000 hectares. Well, it is lower compared to previous year due to low returns from this crop. Anyway, we expect considerably better areas this year in 2021 due to growing prices and higher margins. With production of 27,000 tons in 2020 and rather big opening stocks, and the total supply is slightly less than 50,000 tons. Well, and due to this, we forecast the chickpeas export at level of 30,000 tons. Well, and the last 2 years, our share of chickpeas was the highest if we compare export only over niche pulses, and we put aside the export of yellow peas. Export in the current season of 2021, about 11,000 tons of chickpeas have been already exported, and I expect a better export for February, June, as farmers needed money to finance plantings and other field works. And usually, unlike export of other small pulses, chickpeas export is more regular by month. So we hope total chickpeas export from Ukraine will be at level at least 30,000 tons. Well, export destinations for Ukrainian chickpeas is mainly Pakistan. Its share is about 45%. and export to share of chickpeas exported to India also increased in the current season, and this could be applied also to some other destinations like European Union countries, like Israel. Well, anyway, the physical volumes of export are not very impressive with the possible total export potential at 30,000 tons. Well, among Black Sea countries, there is a rather strong competition of chickpeas producers and exporters. Well, Russia is the biggest chickpeas exporter among the Black Sea countries, as Russian exporters offer larger parcels of chickpeas at quite competitive prices. And it was in 2019-20 season. This season, in the current season, Russian export dropped by almost 50%, and currently Australia is chickpeas exporter #1. Competition between Russian and Ukrainian chickpeas also concerns the target markets. Actually, the same markets, it is including Pakistan, Turkey, Jordan, India, and actually, this is all what about the chickpeas market of Ukraine. I'd like to draw your attention to daily, weekly, and monthly reports of Ukragro-Consult about pulses, and also to invite you to take part in the Black Sea Grain Conference, which will be in April 14-15. I will be happy to welcome you as delegates on these events. Thank you for your attention. I'll be happy to answer to your questions and take part in discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sergi. You mentioned very good things about this chickpeas data. You point out one thing, that chickpeas is a risky crop. So where there is a risk, and there is a gain, which we see already in 2018 when the farmers are planted a lot of chickpeas in Ukraine. So anyways, chickpeas is a premium product of pulses industry. So let's do the risky business. Now let's proceed with the Ms. Svetlana, because he's have the big farms. So as a farmer holdings, I just want to ask you, as a farmer company, how you see chickpeas plantation beneficial for your good company compared to the other pulses products? Do I repeat my question? Yeah, how you see the chickpeas plantation beneficial for your good company? Compared to other pulses crop.
Хотела еще раз всех поприветствовать на этой дискуссии. И хотела внести небольшие изменения. У нас вчера произошла смена немного экспертов, и я представляю университетскую академическую науку, но мы очень тесно сотрудничаем с фермерами в Украине, которые выращивают нут. И хотела остановиться на том, что Украина имеет очень большой потенциал, как по урожайности, но здесь проблема в значительных колебаниях урожайности по годам. То, что связано с погодными изменениями, которые мы сейчас фиксируем, урожайность нута в хозяйстве может изменяться от 1,5 тонны до 4,5 тонн максимально, которую мы получали в фермерских хозяйствах. И поэтому вот эта нестабильность в определенной мере заставляет настораживать фермеров в отношении производства, большого производства. В Украине есть свои сорта, то есть ведется селекция, есть отработанные технологии выращивания нута, но промышленные площади довольно проблематичны, потому что нут все-таки считается у нас более нишевой культурой, и если в хозяйствах выращивается, то это не на больших площадях, что опять же не может обеспечить внедрение промышленных технологий. А промышленные технологии должны сопровождаться определенным шлейфом техники как для выращивания, так и техники для послеуборочной доработки семян. То есть это качество и семена, и продовольственное зерно, которое идет на экспорт. Поэтому культура очень интересная, и мы считаем, что рынок нута в Украине будет развиваться как внутренний, так, конечно, и внешний рынок. И особенно вот эти регионы, в которых мы сейчас все чаще фиксируем значительный дефицит влаги, они довольно оптимальны для выращивания этой культуры. И нут еще нам интересен тем, что во многих регионах, особенно южных, мы можем его высевать под зиму, то есть как, по сути, озимая культура, и рано весной уже получать всходы, и нут формирует довольно хороший уровень урожайности. Поэтому, конечно, нут интересен, мы работаем над ним, работают многие фермерские хозяйства. В больших агрохолдингах эта культура занимает небольшие площади, поэтому мы их относим к нишевым культурам. Спасибо.
Thank you for your answer. In the last, I just want to ask you one more question. Why there is no standardized seeds in the Ukraine? I traveled many places in Ukraine. In one farm, the seeds are different than other farms.
Ну, вероятно, это опять же вот связано с проблемой стабильности производства. Если бы фермеры знали, что это стабильное производство, увеличивались бы посевные площади, и параллельно с этим увеличивались бы и производство семян селекции Украины, и Украина импортировала бы семена нута. У нас сейчас на рынке, кроме украинских сортов, появились уже сорта и европейские, и семена Канады, поэтому этот рынок тоже развивается, но для этого нужна стабильность. И, конечно, этой культуре, возможно, недостаточно определяется вот еще внимание с точки зрения именно производства семян, хотя это тоже можно все наладить.
Thank you for your answer. I'd like to ask the question now about the buyer perspective. I want to start with Mr. Neil Goetz of the AGT Foodman. So how you see the Ukraine chickpeas demands in the past few years as a new emerging origin in whole Europe? I mean, how you see it in the UK or other markets is preferable, the Ukraine chickpeas?
Thank you, Navneet, and thank you to the conference and all the work that goes on behind the scenes. Really appreciate that. Europe as a whole imports roughly about 200,000 tons of Kabuli chickpeas. For the past few years, as we've seen generally around the world, there's been a bit of an oversupply of Kabuli chickpeas in a lot of countries. So a lot of European buyers have had access to many different markets, all competing at pretty low levels, and it's given the buyer the power. I think we are seeing a sea of change with reducing acreage around the world and sort of ending supplies becoming a little bit tighter. And I think that will force European buyers to look away from perhaps traditional markets like North America, Turkey, and Argentina. So I think that Ukraine can play an important part going forward. There's different types of market within Europe. We have the canning and jarring markets such as Spain that are taking the larger sizes, but for the markets such as the UK, we're much more interested in the smaller sizes because it's going into things such as hummus and falafel, as well as into ingredients such as flour, starches, proteins, etc. So I don't see there's been huge volumes in recent years going to the EU, and certainly we haven't seen a lot come into the UK, but it's a continually growing demanded product, and I can see that Ukraine becoming more and more important going forward.
Okay, as a buyer perspective, what the top important thing you want that Ukraine shippers will improve compared to other origin? What suggestion you want to give it through this platform?
No problem. I think it's two things. One, it got touched upon in the dry bean outlook around pesticides, chemical residues. This is becoming more and more important for the consumer in the EU. They want to know where the products come from. They want to know that it's going to be suitable for their health. There's lots of news in the media around things like glyphosate and other chemicals that potentially could cause harm. And certainly in the UK, and I'm sure in Europe as well, we're very much led by the media. So when the media will put something out about chemicals, then it can make buyers nervous, and then the retailers will have to react to that. The other element, which is becoming more and more important, which is in the UK, but as well in other parts of Europe, is around food safety. So things such as ensuring that there's the right accreditation of the processing plant, that there's very limited foreign bodies within the product. A lot of the food manufacturers within Europe aren't actually doing any processing themselves. It's too expensive to process themselves. So they're actually looking for a product that they can tip straight into the manufacturing, and that's not going to cause them problem with the consumer.
Okay, so for you, the fertilizer use and also the good processed product you need for the UK market and all the Europe market. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I would like to go to Mr. Kirill. Kirill, as a big trading company, how you see the Ukraine chickpeas demands for your clients in Indian subcontinent? Is it well-known product nowadays? Kirill, can you hear me? Hello, Kirill, can you hear me? Yes, Kirill, please.
Hello?
Yes, please. Yes, you are audible, please. Do I repeat my question? Do you hear me? I think that, okay. I would like to, I would like to welcome Kirill. Are you okay? Can you hear me? Okay. In meantime, I would like to introduce Mr. Sergey from Graindress, Russia. Until the Kirill have solved the technical problem, we'll start with Mr. Sergey. Mr. Sergey, you are, yes,
Good
hi.
day.
Good day. You are based in Russia. Give me some information about how you see the Russian and Ukraine market difference. What big difference you see on that?
As we discussed with you earlier, Ukraine will play a big and very important role, as I see in Europe, with big size types of Kabuli chickpeas. And I think Russia will move in this direction also, because right now our farmers, our institutes very busy, and they are working hard on our seed fund. We're making new types of new varieties of Russian chickpeas. We need big sizes to earn as maximum as we can from every hectare. So Ukraine should act, and Ukrainian farmers are acting in such way also. I think size of Kabuli will increase.
Okay, so and what about the production side? Do you see the Ukraine have a big potential to compete with Russia?
I believe Ukraine will have all European market because they are pretty close to Germany, to Poland, and as we know, a lot of Turkish people living in Germany, a lot of refugees from East living right now in Europe, and I believe they will not change their behavior, food behavior, very quick. So I believe Ukraine should play a big and important role on European market of chickpeas because of geographical situation.
Okay.
Thank you, Sergey.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Mikhail, Mr. Kirill, are you okay? Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Sorry for that connection.
Okay, no problem. So I'm asking how you see the Ukraine chickpeas demands in the Indian subcontinent. Are these now people are asking more for the Ukraine chickpeas?
For sure, there is a demand for Ukrainian product from Indian subcontinent countries. So this year we saw rather big splash in demand from India, even despite the 40% import duty. India was a buyer for our products. And of course, Pakistan is in the picture as well. Right now, they're buying very actively, aggressively because of some shortages from competing marketing, because of freight, as was discussed on this panel before, and other maybe lower crops than expected. As far as I hear, the demand from Pakistan will remain consistent, and we are also expecting maybe some India demand after they consume their local Rabi crop, and probably they will also come and will be a buyer for Ukrainian product.
Okay, Kirill, but we noted, but I think Ukraine don't have too much chickpeas to export right now anyway. So as a trading company, what challenges you facing while buying the product from Ukraine? Is it the same problem like the seeds, different type of seeds and different types of loads? Are you also facing that problem?
Of course, Ukraine right now is on a stage of development of this product. As Ms. Svetlana said, they are in process of developing the local seed material, developing the techniques of growing. What I see is that Ukraine has a huge potential due to climate and soil advantages that they have. For sure, they will be a player on this market. And I even hear from time to time from Indian buyers that they know especially Ukrainian product for its quality specifications. But to be honest, Ukraine has a way to go to develop this product. First of all, of course, they need some support from government in terms of bringing this product to some standards when the buyer can come and by the certification from the government, they will know what they buy. Secondly, Ukraine can add some value by processing chickpeas, like sizing, cleaning, that will open high marginal markets, and that will open new markets who do not have those facilities like Pakistan or India have to process it on in home, right? Some markets just want to buy bagged product that they can pack right away after receiving the goods. So basically, one more thing that I would like to encourage Ukrainian farmers, as Navneet said, we all know that it's a risky crop, and it's a worldwide situation when the S&D is very complicated and the demand is not stable. But anyway, looking through several years average, farmers do get a rather good return on this commodity. So I would like to encourage Ukrainian farmers to be brave to go into seeding chickpeas, to learn this market, to master their product, to bring the better quality. And over a couple years, for sure, there will be a consistent demand for Ukrainian origin product, and we will gladly help with realizing this opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Sergey. I would like to ask the attendees to ask the question. If they have some question, please send the question in the group so we can take the question with our panelists. In meantime, Mr. Sergey Filippo, I just want to ask you the one question. You said that 2021, the farmers will increase in the Ukraine. Farmer will increase the area in the Ukraine. So today's price, with today's price in the farm level, do you think that we will again reach 2018 crop numbers in Ukraine? Mr. Sergey Filippo.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Что достигнет? Well, I think that Ukrainian farmers face very difficult choice. Well, what crops to plant? What crops will bring them the most margins and profits? Well, traditional crops for Ukraine for the recent 3-5 years is wheat, corn, and sunflower, sometimes soybean. Well, so for sure they will pay greater attention to this grade 4. Well, and as for areas of pulses and for chickpeas particularly, well, I suppose area will be at level of the previous year, maybe slightly higher. So, well, anyway, I suppose that the better prices in the first half of the 2021 season will bring much more money to Ukrainian farmers, and for cultivation actually of all crops, including pulses and chickpeas, farmers have more finances to buy better technology. Well, with the comparatively stable chickpeas area, I suppose that yields might be better with the corresponding increases in total production and supply of chickpeas. Something like that. Well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sergey. Because why this question will come, because now the chickpeas market depends on how the Turkey, US, Canada, Russia, and Ukraine seeding. India and Mexico numbers are already in the market. So now the next step of the chickpeas market globally is depend on this 5 origin, and Ukraine will play a big role in this with the short crops everywhere. So that's why this question comes.
Well, I agree with you, but please note that very often Ukrainian farmers are underinformed about the areas, production, competition in the world market. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Sergey. So I would like to sum up with this Chickpeas panel. Thank you for all these panelists. The conclusion, while this panel, I made one few conclusions that the Ukraine have the big potential, especially for the chickpeas growing. Ukraine need to standardize the seeds, because as Neil said, that it is a also problem, and also the fertilizer problem. So Ukraine need to standardize the seeds and less fertilizer uses on the chickpeas crop, so they can approach to the more Europe market. More machines needed in the Ukraine with the farmers or with the support of the government to clean and bag the product, because chickpeas is a product. If you want a value, you need to clean, bag, sortex, and then you can ship, so you can get. Otherwise, you are shipping the chickpeas and yellow peas is the same. So chickpeas need to be processed, and then it should be shipped. So it will give a more margins to the international market for that. So thank you for all this wonderful panel. Thank you all the panelists. Thank you, Mr. Sergey, for the last time minute and joining us, Mr. Sergey from Grinders. And thank you, GPC. Thank you, Ukraine Pulses Association. Thank you.